Well, hello and welcome back. Thank you for coming back today. Downtown Ayia Napa, the sun, well, that's kissing that beautiful, beautiful blue Mediterranean Sea. And that sea, well, it's lapping the coastline of downtown Ayia Napa. Have a look at that. I don't think that it gets much better than that, but of course it does, because I've brought with me the most beautiful woman in the world, and her name is Miss Ayia Napa. All we got to do is get her to come off her scooter and say the big hello.
Hello everybody, how nice to see you again and again. And look at me.
And again. Right, we're in downtown Ayia Napa. We got a couple of these scooters, so let's go for a wiggle and a waggle along the coastal pathway. So stick with us, here we go. Let's see if we can get Ayia Napa to get in front of us, and she can show us the way, even though we understand that her orientation, to be honest, is not that good. So this is the coastal pathway to the right hand side, if you understand me, of the harbour area. So we're wiggling and waggling along the coastal line. This is a rather nice pathway. Over in the distance you can see a massive crane and a very tall building, and that tall building of course is the Ayia Napa Marina. You have to show people respect when you're on a scooter, obviously, so they're entitled to walk on the pathway, so we'll dismount as we go round them. Here we go, we're back on again, and we're off. Let's go and see what Ayia Napa has got to say.
You know, Mr. Paul, I wonder, and I still wonder, how do you do it? I don't understand.
She's referring to holding the camera and riding the little scooter at the same time. And as you may notice, well, the filmography is not very good and it's quite difficult. So I'm going to buy two of these, as I've said in the previous video, and we're going to buy two. But the fault with this, because I'm left-handed, is that the brake obviously is for a left-handed person, but I've seen scooters that have brakes on both sides, so then I'll be able to control the throttle and the brake with one hand and hopefully film not too bad. And I'm also going to buy a body harness as well, so some of the videos will just be whizzing around on our scooters around Paphos, Ayia Napa, Port Taras, or wherever we may go. But anyway, have a look at that. That sun's glistening, and if you look very careful, there are people on canoes and these are paddling like crazy. Have a look at that. It's the spectacular blue Mediterranean Sea that's kissing the shoreline of downtown Ayia Napa. I don't think that it can get much better than that, but of course it can, because that's the, well, rear end of Ayia Napa. That's the front end.
You know, today is very live. All the children are outside on the playgrounds. The mothers and fathers are looking after them, because the weather is just to die for, and this is the right temperature that I would like it to be 365 days a year.
Yeah, and if you are wondering what time of year it is, we're in the first week of December. We're in downtown Ayia Napa, and the sun, well, that's beaming down, that's for sure. So if you're looking for somewhere to come for a special weekend, a week, a fortnight, or possibly even the rest of your life, Ayia Napa could be that special place for you. So all you've got to do is get yourself on
a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Cyprus is simply waiting just for you.
As I said before, just out yonder, where the sun is glistening on the blue Mediterranean Sea, there are 3 people on canoes and they are paddling like crazy. Wow, doesn't get much better than that. Come on, Christine LaBouffe, let's get back on the little scooters and let's go a little bit further. Let's go to that little walkway over there.
You just reminded me when you said it's 3 people on the boat or something. You said it reminded me the very famous poem or story, should we say? Who is the writer? I don't remember, but the title of it: 3 in the boat and a dog.
3 in a boat and a dog. There we are. So we'll have to get a boat, get a companion, maybe a cockadoo, and a boat and a dog. Obviously, if not, we'll go. Right, we're going to continue on our trek along the Ayia Napa coastline, back onto the little scooters, and here we go. Christine LaBouffe is mounting up. There we go. So as you can see, coming up now on the left hand side, on the beach side, is a rather spectacular structure that allows you to walk out across the blue Mediterranean Sea, and that's where we're going to go next. So stick with us. There's works of art scattered around in Ayia Napa, by the way. It really is an absolutely beautiful place to be. And my idea was to dismount, but Christine LaBouffe's idea is to go on the scooters. There we are. So stick with us. Look at that. I don't think it can get much better. There's people monkeying around in the ocean itself. There's people in bikinis and shorts. And again, I remind you again, it is the first week of December. The temperature is around about 24 degrees. It really is spectacular. What do you think, watching Christine LaBouffe?
But you know, Mr. Paul, these are very good transport for your easy life, should we say. But of course you have to be very careful, as I said before, not to damage your legs or arms, or not to break any of them. Luckily for all of us, we got couple of arms and couple of legs. But, for example, nose, it's only one. And mouth is only one.
Sometimes she makes me laugh. I hope she makes you laugh as well. It's the construction of the sentences as they get translated. Anyway, let's show you the beauty and the spectacality that this construction that's been put out into the blue Mediterranean Sea allows us to share with you. Let's walk around and let you digest the spectacality. There's those 3 people again in the distance, canoeing like crazy into the downtown Ayia Napa harbour. Look at the clarity of the water. That's a spectacular sight there, a nice cruising boat, and that's the sun glistening across the very front of the Ayia Napa seafront. And watching Christine LaBouffe now is trying to transcend down into the...
I'm just trying to become closer to the lovely sea, because the water here, Mr. Paul, I can see every single little fish that's swimming under the water. These bushes, or how you call them, the underwater...
Well, it's plant life, isn't it?
This...
Let's go into a bit closer and let's see if we can capture what watching Christine LaBouffe is chatting about.
You know how we call, I don't know this in English, by the way, you should know, it lives in forest, it's got 1,000 of needles on the body.
Hedgehog.
Hedgehog?
hedgehog receive yellow booth. We're a family channel. It's not
But
a
you
large
said
Coke.
hedgecock. No.
Hedgecock, yes. No, hedgehog. She's got me saying it now. There we are. Hedgehog.
Hedgehog.
It's like Santa and his Range Rovers. There we are. Look at that. It doesn't get much better.
Hedgehog. Anyways, I like this. I think we call them hedgehogs. Hedgehogs in the sea. They're swimming under the water.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, the sea hedgehogs. But if you step on it, oh, it's gonna be hedgehog.
Yes, indeed. Right, so let's continue on our little walk around and show you the beauty of the blue Mediterranean Sea as it licks the life out of downtown Ayia Napa. It's one of the many structures in the Ayia Napa area that have been constructed to allow locals and tourists alike to wander around and see the beauty. Gather your thoughts, bring a frappe with you, bring a sandwich, bring your friends, bring your dog. In fact, Miss Kula often comes down here in the mornings and brings her cockadoo, and of course his name is Agapio.
Agape, which means
How'd you
love.
say it?
Agape.
Well,
love.
I've renamed him Agapio. There we are. So that's the cockadoo that hangs out at the Isaacs Taverna at the bottom of the harbour area, which is just over there. Here's one of the canoers. He's decided to dock just that further down than the harbour. Look at that. Spectacular views. That is for sure. So if you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe, and please come back for a little bit more of our madness.
And I would like to tell you many thanks for watching us. I would like to tell you how much we're loving you. And I would like to tell you not to forget and see another of our madnesses. Many kisses. And bye-bye. I was standing on that hedge.
Thanks for watching.